Thank you, thank you, thank you. We welcome you here to Veterans Pointe, this very special place in Rochester Hills. You know, we stop every year at this time during our everyday lives to stop and remember, to pay honor and respect to the dead that laid down their life for our nation. We also pause to veterans that are here that have served, maybe currently still serving, the United States Armed Forces, to say thank you. Thank you for protecting our freedom, our democracy, our Constitution. So it's with an honor that we get to be here. My wife, Mary Modetz, normally is with me, but she's just home real bad, real sick, just with allergies, no COVID, thank goodness. And I'm glad COVID is kind of behind us. You know, we're gathering. The last couple of years it was a little light, but now we're gathering as a bigger crowd, and we're here to remember and honor our veterans. At this time, I'm going to ask you to turn over and look over here by the flags, and we're going to have the military cross placement by the veterans. 25 years ago, there was a vision for this beautiful place we call Veterans Pointe. One of the men that was greatly involved in that, in the development and design, and has been so involved in the years here, is the chaplain from the VFW post. We're going to welcome Ed Leafdale to give us the invocation.
Good morning. Glad to see you all here. I see a lot of faces that I've seen from years past that seem to come out like the robins do every spring. My name, again, is Ed Leafdale. I'm the chaplain of VFW Post 3908. Today is Memorial Day, a day that has been set aside to honor those Americans who gave their last full measure of devotion to our nation's cause. It is fitting for us all to hold this day of reverence, of deep respect for those fallen soldiers. We hold them in the highest honor, for they gave their lives for us. Would you bow your heads and pray with me now? Dear Lord, we ask you in prayer to help us honor our fallen military men and women on this Memorial Day, who gave the full measure when called upon to serve and protect our country. We pray to you that you will bless them all for their unselfish service, preserving our freedom and our future ways of life. Lord, accept our prayers on behalf of those served and lost their life with mercy upon those bereaved by their passing. We ask you to bless these young men and women, soldiers that will never come home again to their families. They were called upon to answer the final call to join the ranks of your mighty heavenly army. Lord, we beseech thee to comfort the bereaved and leave only the cherished memories of their love. And we ask that their souls are at rest in peace now and forever. Amen. Thank you.
If you're able to do so, will please rise and join with me as we pledge our allegiance. We'll face the flagpole. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All the way from Howell, Michigan, this beautiful young lady right here drove in with her mom and sister, and she's going to sing a cappella our national anthem. Her name is Alyssa Mockbill. Give her a warm welcome.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we've watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Alyssa, that was beautiful. At this time, I'm going to ask you to turn and face the flags. The veterans are going to have the lowering of the flags. Please go ahead and be comfortable. You have a seat. Our first of our four speakers this morning is my great friend and the great mayor of Rochester Hills, one of the men responsible for this Veterans Point that we stand at today, Mayor Brian Barnett. I apologize. We're going to first hear from the Guardians of Harmony. For all these years that we've had celebrations and remembering the veterans, Guardians of Harmony are always here, always, rain or shine. At this time, we'll listen to the Guardian of Harmony.
From the rising of the sun till the battle's fought and won,
Thank you, Guardians of Harmony. Our first speaker this morning, the Mayor of Rochester Hills, Mayor Brian Burnett.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
You know, we're here to honor and remember those who've served our country, but it certainly is a good morning, isn't it? I've been blessed to be a part of these ceremonies for many years, and we've been out here in rain, in cold, in blistering heat, and this may be the most blessed we've been with weather. So thank you so much for being here. You know, as I mentioned, just being here, we want to thank you for making time today, but there are those that planned this event, that are here working this event, that are making this event possible. So would you please do me a favor? Would you turn to the men and women of the Rochester Hills Fire Department and the men and women of the Oakland County Sheriff's Department and give them a round of applause, please? We are honored also to be here with several members of our city council. Thank you, gentlemen. You know, you're gathered on a very special corner of our city. That intersection marks the perfect geographical center of our community. And this marks really the center of our hearts. Veterans Memorial Pointe this year celebrating its 25th anniversary. Can you believe that? 25 years ago, several city employees had a vision for this parcel of land, and they executed that vision. They created this place where all of us come together now several times a year for important days, certainly none perhaps more important than this day. And so this morning on the 25th anniversary, we also want to thank them. 3 of the 4 of those key gentlemen are here with us today. You met one of them just a few moments ago. Ed Leafdale, his brother Bud Leafdale, former city employee, just retired a couple weeks ago after 45 years of service with the city. Bud Clark and the late Frank Bianco, 4 gentlemen whose vision you enjoy today. Would those 3 gentlemen here please wave your hands and be recognized? That, my friends, is what a legacy looks like. And we've celebrated their hard work and their efforts on this plot of ground for 25 years. Also this year, in honor of its 25th anniversary, we're doing something a little unique. So all of the veterans and those who are serving now, a little bit later in our service this morning, we're going to present to you a commemorative challenge coin, honoring you and 25 years of Veterans Memorial Pointe. And I want to thank John Modetz and Vito Pampalona, 2 of the strongest and most vociferous supporters of our nation's armed forces that this area has ever seen. We'll celebrate that in a few moments. You know, if you know me, you know the importance that I place on experiences. From working with City Hall to visiting one of our parks, experiences are important here in Rochester Hills. Experiences are important because they provide perspective. Perspective on the world and perspective on your place in it. I hope today that as you visit this point and experience the singing and the songs and the pageantry that goes along with remembering the fallen, that there will be a personal experience for you. Whether it's a quiet moment reflecting on the names etched on these bricks, story of a serviceman or woman that has played a role in your life, a friend, a loved one, a family member. Our job today is simple. It's to remember. Those names on front of me and throughout this park aren't just heroes that served, that had a number attached to their dog tag. They were fathers and mothers, sons and daughters, brothers and sisters, neighbors, friends, countrymen. One of my favorite generals who I've studied is George Patton. And he had a great perspective on a day like today and the men and women who we honor. He said, "It is foolish and wrong to mourn the men who died. Rather, we should thank God that such men lived." It's powerful. Something I hope people say about me and probably you someday in the future. It's not how we died, it's how we lived. As I stand here today, I, along with the City Council, offer our sincerest thanks and gratitude to all of our service members. Our city has had a long history of standing up and answering that call. We are grateful for you and we are humbled by your sacrifice. In keeping with the idea of experiences being important in life, certainly I think there's a few things to point out here today. Look at the flag over your shoulder and over by Veterans Memorial Pointe, the iconic red, white, and blue. We all feel pride as we see that fly. Flag's different this year. It was flying, I can't see it over there now, with the flag of Ukraine, which the city has been flying since the conflict started. It's a symbol of pride and patriotism for those folks as well. But behind those symbols of both our flag and the flag of Ukraine are people. And we stand in solidarity with those folks whose courage is evident in their everyday action and whose resilience shines through each and every day. Surrounded by those flags is the point itself, the Veterans Memorial. It's adorned with the words from David Doc Maloney that read, "I am a peacemaker and a warrior. I am a hawk and a dove. I'm a patriot who served the country I love. I am man, I am woman. I took up the fight. I stood the watch. I did what's right. I am a veteran. When my service is through, remember me, for I did it for you." Think about that perspective. Those words sum up the very reason that we're here today, in a city that is so blessed on every measure, on a day where we count those blessings. President Ronald Reagan once said, "And if words cannot repay the debt we owe these men, surely with our actions we must strive to keep faith with them and with the vision that led them to battle and to their final sacrifice." Everyone here today is a part of President Reagan's story. We all have a role in remembering and telling it forward. I love looking out at this crowd year after year, especially to see the kids whose parents bring them along to celebrate in something they're probably not completely sure about. But that is such a critical part to tell the next generation about the importance of this day and those who served. Surely on a beautiful day like today, on a 3-day American weekend, there are so many other calls for each and every one of you. Pools to open, grills to fire up, chores to be done. But all of you have prioritized this experience and this perspective in such an appropriate way. When this ceremony concludes in just a few moments, I hope each of you will find some time to grab perspective here today. Step out of your comfort zone, find someone in uniform or wearing a military hat and engage with them, thank them, ask them a story, for their stories are part of this experience too. So on behalf of our City Council, our employees, and the 80,000 people that are so blessed to call Rochester Hills home, We thank our veterans for their selfless service, certainly those that have paid the ultimate sacrifice. We thank all of you for being here today, and may God continue to bless our troops, our city, and the United States of America. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Our next speaker from the VFW post number 3908, the Commander, Pete Devolder. Thank you.
Morning, everybody. My name is Pete Devolder. I'm commander of 3908. I just really enjoyed Memorial Day coming out here, seeing all the bricks down here, all the folks. I really appreciate y'all coming out and spending time with us. Well, Memorial Day is here. As Americans, we all cheer, and we exclaim a day with family and friends, neighbors, across the fruitful plains, a day of cookouts, parties, picnics, in the sunshine or rain. Remember to thank the souls who did not return to their home. Our patriots surround us on the farm, towns, and cities. Give respect to these heroes. Wherever they're buried, they may be. In turn, on the foreign soil, overboard, or lost at sea, in harmony, we thank them today for this Memorial Day. May this country be blessed with such women, men, who sacrifice their mortal flesh time and time again. Selfless souls who serve not seek a reward, and without regret, take time, be so kind. Say a prayer for our deceased vets. Thank you.
Thank you, Pete. Our next speaker is from the DAV Chapter 129, the Commander, Bill Dezur. Bill?
Good morning, everyone. Bear with me for a minute, I'm a little out of breath. As a young 19-year-old, I served in the U.S. Navy, the height of the Vietnam War, from 65 to 69. At the same time, my brother served in the Marines in Da Nang. I served aboard the USS Monticello for 3 tours of duty in Vietnam and was able to meet up with my brother as he served in Red Beach with the base for Da Nang. As a young man, I served my time and then returned home to marry, raise my children, and lived in my community. Only as I have grown older have my thoughts and memories of my military service returned to me a better American, giving up the time and the energy to the many disabled American veterans in our community. I hope each and every one of you standing here today will thank the veterans that you run into, not only today, but at every chance you have. For more than 20 years, American Armed Forces have been the best guarantee that freedom will continue to ring across this land. Thank you for coming out today, and God bless you.
Thank you, Bill. Our final speaker this morning for the American Legion Post number 172, Junior President James Keller. Jim?
My name is James Keller. I'm the Vice Commander of the Homer Wing American Legion Post 172, and I bring greetings this day from the American Legion on this day of reflection, remembrance, and renewal. Most Americans have never heard that there are 3 other verses of America the Beautiful. These little performed verses contain powerful messages about our country. The third verse is particularly relevant for today. O beautiful for heroes proved in liberating strife, who more than self their country loved, and mercy more than life. America, America, May God thy gold refine, till all success be nobleness, and every gain divine. There are many today who would deny that America is a virtuous country. Their claim is that the principal reason for this country's existence is rooted in the oppression of less fortunate groups, both original inhabitants and others brought in voluntarily from their homes and family. In short, they reject any notion of patriotism and love of country because they claim our history is deeply and irrevocably flawed in many ways. And because of that history, so are all we citizens similarly tainted. A purpose of Memorial Day is to make it abundantly clear that this thesis is false. America is an exceptional country, if for no other reason than its citizen soldiers, and particularly those who have paid the ultimate price on our behalf. On the subject of war, John Stuart Mill is worth quoting. War is an ugly thing, but not the ugliest of things. The decayed and degraded state of moral and patriotic feeling, which thinks that nothing is worth a war, is much worse. A war to protect other human beings against tyrannical injustice, a war to give victory to their own ideas of right and good, and which is their own war carried on for an honest purpose by their free choice, is often the means of their regeneration. A man who has nothing for which he is willing to fight for, nothing he cares about more than he does his personal safety, is a miserable creature who has no chance of being freed unless made and kept so by the exertions of better men than himself. As long as justice and injustice have not terminated their ever-renewing fight for ascendancy in the affairs of mankind, human beings must be willing, when need is, to do battle for the one against the other. As I said, it's reflection, remembrance, and renewal. On reflection, America is about ideals. We should venerate those principles laid down in the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. We should honor those men and women who, despite human flaws, had both the courage and the wisdom to commit those ideals to paper and to practice. Remembrance, our citizen soldiers fight bravely, not for gold, but in defense of those ideals. It is only for ideals, for causes outside our selfish interests, that men and women are prepared to lay down their lives. Precious metals like gold are refined by fire to burn out the impurities. Verse 3 hopes that the impurities of our national being will be burned out. Today's observances call upon the whole of our nation to remember those who gave their lives in the cause of freedom. Following the war between the states, the need arose to clean and decorate the graves of the soldiers who died far from home, sometimes without a name on the stone. Local veterans group and patriotic organizations sprung up to perform that task. If you're over 60, you may remember Decoration Day. In 1967, the last Monday in May was designated as the federal holiday of Memorial Day. And renewal. Today's observances call upon us to rededicate ourselves to the cause of freedom and become refined ourselves. The last reported figures indicate that over 30,000 veterans and qualified family members are now interred at the Great Lakes National Cemetery in Holly, Michigan. The rows of graves and the cremation niches tell us of the price of freedom. If you have not visited it, the Great Lakes National Cemetery, I encourage you to go and take your kids. With a sculptured landscape, an unhurried pace of the rural location, and the tasteful quiet of the graves, it is a peaceful and patriotic place. It is a place to become renewed. So, to those who seek to tell the lie of a corrupt America, to those powerful forces, both public and private, to those who would have us forget history and discard patriotism, and to those who would seek to eliminate our rights, control our speech, and even restrict our very right to worship, we say, watch and see. Watch and see a new, renewed America, the bulwark of freedom and the keeper of the ideals for which the dead we honor today gave the last full measure of devotion. To those we say, your lies cannot and will not stand. Have a happy and safe Memorial Day wherever your travels may take you, and may God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America.
Thank you, Jim. At this time, if you'll just look behind me here and listen to The Mansions of the Lord by Guardians of Harmony. Thank you, Guardians of Harmony. At this time, you'll turn our attention to the flagpoles, and the veterans will have the placement of the wreaths. At this time, I'm going to ask Mayor Barnett to join me.
As I mentioned earlier, in a unique celebration of our 25th anniversary of this special Veterans Memorial Pointe, we want to specifically honor our veterans today. We want to start by inviting three very special families, if they're here, to come forward. And after I announce their names, I'd like all of our veterans to come forward just in front of me, where you'll be given a challenge coin. A challenge coin that has that memorial on it symbolizes our city's commitment to patriotism, as mentioned by our last speaker, and our gratefulness to you and your families. For the last number of years, there have been several members of this community taken in the line of service. So I'd like to ask First Lieutenant Adam Malson's family, if they're here, to please come forward. Sergeant Kyle McLean's family, to please come forward. And Specialist Walter Howard's family to please come forward. First Lieutenant Adam Melson was killed in 2005. Sergeant Kyle McLean lost his life in 2012. And Specialist Walter Howard in 2006. Friends, please honor these families. And now I'd like to ask all of the other veterans who have served to please come forward and receive a challenge coin. Can we give those heroes a round of applause, please? If there are any members who have folks here representing families whose loved ones are in active service, please come up as well. We'd love to honor you with a challenge coin as well. One more round of applause for our veterans. Thank you all.
As we conclude all military events, we're going to have the 21 gun salute followed by taps. And following that, the Guardians of Harmony will close with God Bless America. At this time, we'll stand for the playing of taps and the 21 gun salute. With my closing remarks, just once again thanking each and every one of you for being here this year, but for all the years past, you've always been here to support and remember our veterans. At 11 o'clock today, they're going to shut Adams Road down by Adams High School. At 11:30, a parade will start from Adams High School north to Silver Bell and Adams to the Veterans Tribute in Oakland Township, where there'll be continuous veteran ceremonies. I know Mayor Barnett, myself, and a few of us will be up at that event. So we encourage you. We also take a moment, I know Mayor Barnett mentioned it, but the flag, the fire department, the Oakland County Sheriffs that keep us safe walking across these roads and protecting us from cars driving. We thank them from the bottom of our heart. We ask you to have a blessed day. Continue to remember our veterans. You know, every year I would leave this and I'd call my dad. He's a World War II vet, private sergeant, private major, and I would say, Dad, thanks for serving our country. Then after my dad died, I called his younger brother, my Uncle Ed, and they're both gone now. But I'm gonna ask you, if you have a friend, a family, somebody you love, and they don't live in Michigan, pick up your cell phone, pick up your phone when you get home, and call them and just say, I was thinking about you, and I want you to know our country's better for your service. God bless you all and your safe journeys. Thank you.